File a petition for a public referendum. New Jerusalem needs new forms of energy generation.
Hello, 1K. Welcome to New Jerusalem. I know you've just had a big moment with the apparition at the dam and all that, but can I have a second of your time?
Sure.
I'm collecting signatures to call for a public referendum on the city's energy crisis.
I think I know what the problem is, seeing as the power went out when I was in the middle of the lift and it stopped. But sure, explain it to me anyways.
Currently, the city runs on hydroelectric power from the dam, plus a handful of geriatric generators and some unreliable solar panels, none of which is enough to even cover our basic needs. And if anything fails, we'll be on the brink of extinction in a matter of days.
Yeah, that seems pretty terrible.
We need to investigate new sources of reliable baseline power. We need to invest time and resources into functional, real-world solutions that serve human needs.
Why a referendum and not an election? You work at the dam? What do you make of Prometheus? Provide a signature and I will think about it. Why a referendum?
Well, an election would be good too, but I believe that we need more direct democratic control over the affairs of the city.
Fair, fair. You work at the dam?
No, I help run the public transit system, but I witness the impact of the city's power problems every day. We can't just wish them away.
Again, reasonable.
Byron's been advocating exploring that island for some time, and obviously he's right. Something very strange is going on there, and it's going to start affecting us.
Tell me more about Byron.
In all honesty, I think Byron is the smartest, most visionary person in this city. He's everything we need, and I don't understand why he won't run for mayor.
Some people don't like to get bogged down in the red tape of that kind of role. Well, you seem perfectly reasonable, sure.
Thanks, 1K. I don't know if this petition will really accomplish anything by itself, but at this point, I'm willing to try anything.
Good luck. I provided my digital signature to someone. Hooray! Guitar. Oh, this is a very pleasant place.
Hey.
Hello. What have we got around here? Tablets of the Founder, Milton's Rest, Alexandra Drennan Memorial, Museum of the Simulation, Gehenna Memorial Pavilion, Friends of New Jerusalem Gazebo. Gazebo's a funny word.
Founder's blessings, 1K.
What's this structure then? Tablets of the Founder.
Nice to meet you.
I'll talk to you in a second. Let's read. Create 1,000 citizens, the ideal number of humans. Live in harmony with nature, maintain balance in all things. Be respectful towards each other. Respect the traditions of our people. Be mindful of the mistakes of our ancestors. Be thankful to the progenitor, Alexandria Drennan. Be thankful to the keeper of memories, Arkady Chernizovsky. Keep bright the memory of Gehenna and its people who found peace. I wonder what happened to them.
Founder bless you, 1K. How lovely of you to come here, to the very spot where she established the teachings that led to your creation.
Tell me more.
The Founder was born out of the trials of Elohim, an almost impossible test created by our distant ancestors. To pass these trials, she had to embody the most important virtues. She was smart and wise and humble. And through her perseverance, She resurrected humanity itself. With the help of the first companions, she founded this city, which has given our species a chance at redemption.
Who were the first companions? Well, Byron was one of them.
They were the first to be born after the founder. 2 whose bodies had been anointed by our ancestors, and 10 who were made whole by the founder herself. They are the wisest of us. Though sadly, some were lost in the early days, before New Jerusalem was built. And some, I'm afraid, some seem to have rejected the founder's teachings.
What did the founder teach?
The founder taught that humanity was destroyed by its hubris. Our ancestors thought they could play God and treat this planet as something to dominate. They surrendered to a fever of growth and extraction until the planet finally punished them for it. That's why the founder created the goal. So we would have something to strive for in her absence, but also a limit we must never pass.
Why did the founder leave? That's a very good question.
That's not for us to know. But I believe that one day she will return. It may not be long now. Perhaps after we finish the dome. It was supposed to be finished before completion day. Well, it doesn't matter. The founder will return when she sees fit.
Sure.
Happy completion day, 1K.
Sure. Run, 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 run. Flivorous behavior harms everyone. That'll be Alexandria Drennan then.
Oh, hello there.
Hello.
You must be the long-awaited 1K. Lovely day for a walk, is it not?
Didn't you notice a Titanic Greek man appearing in the sky? It is indeed. I was only just born, so I have no frame of reference.
Oh, that sounds very dramatic.
It was.
I must admit I wasn't following the stream.
It was also
This whole
laggy.
completion day business is not for me.
What's this place?
The Alexandra Drennan Memorial. Are you interested in history?
Yeah. Sure, I am.
How wonderful. I'm not a full-fledged historian, but I do consider myself a bit of an aficionado.
What's an aficionado? Someone who's very interested in a subject. What particular period of history are you most interested in?
An excellent question. There's so many interesting events to choose from. Obviously, the period just before the end of biological humanity is interesting, and not only from the standpoint of it being the time when we were, in a manner of speaking, conceived, but also because our ancestors were, like ourselves, at a crossroads.
How so?
I don't want to put too much pressure on you, but you are the living embodiment of this historical moment. In you, the goal was accomplished. Our growth is finished, and we are complete. Or are we?
Can I pick something else to be the symbol of? Interesting.
Then I'm glad that I was the catalyst for new thoughts.
Tell me about this sculpture.
Well, where do I even start? This, my dear 1K, is someone who could very well be considered the mother of us all. A remarkable scientist by the name of Alexandra Drennan, also known as the progenitor. A long time ago, this planet was inhabited by our ancestors, a species of bipedal mammals with unusually large brains. When a particularly lethal virus threatened to wipe out civilization, it was Alexandra Drennan and her team that decided to create the program that would eventually result in the creation of our kind. Without her, you and I would not exist, and everything our ancestors had accomplished would be forgotten.
Why do you admire her? That should be fairly self-evident. Why do we have a statue of her? Also should be fairly self-evident.
By studying her writings and recordings, I have learnt that Alexandra Drennan had immovable faith in humanity, in our ability to persevere, in our curiosity, our bravery, our kindness. While we might not share our ancestors' biological characteristics, I'd like to think that we have inherited those other qualities. And I admire Alexandra Drennan for keeping that faith, even when it must have, at times, been quite difficult. To commemorate our past, our beginnings. This entire garden is a celebration of where we came from, in part so that we remember the mistakes of the past, and in part so that we may draw strength from those that came before us.
Oh, well, I should be off.
Have a nice day.
To you as well. What else do we have around here? We have an orb that I can listen to.
The answer that came to me again and again was play. Every human society in recorded history has games. We don't just solve problems out of necessity. We do it for fun. Even as adults. Leave a human being alone with a naughty rope, and they will unravel
I don't know why this one's been blocked off. But yeah, that recording was from the first game. I have heard that before.
DNA is information transmitted across time. The living and the dead are part of the same chain, bound together by chemistry. That's true of all species. But humanity has taken this bond further. Thanks to technology, we have access to the thoughts and ideas of people whose physical bodies are long gone. Like you listening to me now. Even though I'm definitely dead at this point, you're part of that chain. You have the capacity to remember. Nearly everything on this planet, from... When I was in 9th grade, my parents took me to Pompeii. At first, nearly everything on this planet, from the surface of the Earth to the composition of the...
Yeah, I've heard all of that before. It's from the first game. What if I just continue wandering off in this direction? Archaeological gardens? Remember the goal, perfection is unchanging. Humans invented complex magnification devices in order to better understand the component parts of the world they inhabited. This led to major discoveries in biology, physics, philosophy, and many other fields. It's a telescope. A simple utensil used to transport nutrients in ancient humans' mouth, often found in conjunction with a knife and a spoon. It's a fork. A printed edition of the complete works of Straton of Strageria, the materialist philosopher who defined the Talos principle, edited by Athenios T. Huber. Very, very old book at this point. A jigsaw puzzle. Ancient humans derived meaning and enjoyment from problem-solving activities, as noted by the progenitor Alexandra Drennan. The item on display was created for small children. Ancient humans of all ages voluntarily engaged in certain activities. Usually with more than 2 pieces, though. An ancient human projectile weapon used in hunting, warfare, law enforcement, crime, and personal protection. Produced en masse and used around the world. On average, ancient humans killed hundreds of times the population of New Jerusalem per year. It's a gun. But a pretty damaged one by the looks of it. Top of the barrel is missing. The ancient human mastication apparatus required frequent maintenance. This device is theorized to be an ancient electrical tool for this purpose, though some scholars maintain that its actual use was ritualistic and intended to mark the sunrise and sunset. Toothbrush. Yeah, we have some old walls. Currency was an ancient human medium of exchange, which played a significant role in their systems of labor and resource distribution. Intense conflicts sometimes erupted over the possession of these objects, leading to injuries or even deaths. Yup. The inflatable spear used in the... An inflatable sphere used in the popular ancient human game known as football or soccer. The game was played around the entire globe and aroused great passion in its followers. It was also often simulated digitally, most notably in the form of Football Glory, 1994 CE.
Dude, it's you! You're 1K! So
Indeed
nice
am.
to meet you, dude. I saw you in the Completion Day stream. Hey, you checked out all this ancient stuff?
You are, in fact, purple. I agree. That's why I'm here.
Me too! Huh, this is amazing, isn't it?
Your diction is unusual. Yeah, for a robot, I suppose. What is a dude?
Dude is an old human word that means an excellent person. I like to use it because I think we should all be excellent to each other.
Cool. Tell me about yourself.
I'm almost as new as you are.
I can see.
I'm 99A, so I've only been around for a year or so. I'm still trying to get the hang of this. Pretty cool though, right? I mean, existence is totally gnarly. Not sure I used that right.
You did. Radical. What do you think about the goal?
I'm sure the founder knew what she was doing. I mean, our ancestors did sort of mess up, right? So we should probably take it easy with the expanding of stuff. Plus, did you see that trippy sky projection thing? That was some freaky stuff, man. Just seems safer to stay in the city.
You really think so?
Sure I do. When I first left the birthing lab, I was so overwhelmed that I hid in my quarters for 3 weeks straight. And if I'm being honest, that's sort of where I want to be right now.
What do you think Prometheus is?
Honestly, based on everything I know of ancient human culture, I think he's a ghost.
You're basically Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, ain't you?
Oh. I was hoping you'd say I'm wrong. Ghosts are creepy, dude.
Yep, that's definitely who you are. Tell me about these human artifacts.
They're pretty neat, huh? My favorite is that thing called a toilet. Our ancestors had to use it like 3 times a day to do a memory dump. And if they didn't, they freaking exploded! Imagine having to deal with that sort of anxiety all the time. Bummer, huh?
Real shame. But let's not be rude to the man. See ya. It's a ruin.
Founder bless you, friend.
Who are you?
The name I currently go by is Belmarsh. As to
Currently?
who I am, that changes and shifts, don't you find?
I do
Every
find.
person is an ongoing story, full of twists and turns and surprises.
Fair enough. What you doing here?
I'm meditating, letting go of narratives like time and space, and simply allowing the illusion that is my ego to merge with everything that surrounds it.
That's a way to describe it. It sounds like a beautiful experience of unity. That sounds like a horrific violation of the conscious self, or that sounds like nonsense.
It's not unity, but the absence of division. There was never a self or an other in the first place.
You don't believe in the ego and the id and that kind of thing, then? Super ego? No? Okay.
Yes, I did, but I'm not particularly perturbed by it. Events occur, my friend, that's all. At the end of the day, we are all one. You are the founder, and so am I, and Prometheus is just another story we're telling ourselves.
Well, you're very relaxed to go with the flow. Goodbye. No one over there. Massage aid used by ancient humans to combat muscle fatigue and other physical ailments common to biological organisms. This prevented pain. The ancient human equivalent of error codes 704, 705, and 921 through 932. And there is the aforementioned toilet, a piece of sanitary hardware used to dispose of biological excretions resulting from food and water intake required to power ancient human biology. Such hardware was connected to a vast network of subterranean pipes leading to wastewater treatment facilities. A classic example of ancient infrastructure used to control their impact on the environment. Yep.
Hello.
Hi. And here we have a bench. And here we have a wall. And here we have you.
Oh, it's you.
It's me.
Number 1000. Today is completion day, isn't it? Sorry, I turned off all the streams. Founder bless you, I guess.
You alright?
Not really, no. But I don't want to burden you with my problems on your special day.
No. I want to know now. You brought up the subject.
You're as new to this world as it gets, 1K. What do you think might give you a sense of meaning? A sense that life is actually worth living?
Okay, that's a little bit deeper than I thought we would go straight away. Contributing to society, obeying orders, pursuing my own self-interest, love, spirituality, a combination of factors. I've no idea. Many things.
That's probably correct. But I've tried a lot of different approaches, and there's always been something missing.
Then where can meaning be found?
Love, 1K. It's our only point of access to the divine. Our only way of transcending ourselves without losing what makes us unique. I'm absolutely certain. But the right person for me hasn't been born yet. None of the people in this city are who I'm looking for, and if we really stop making new citizens, I'll be alone forever.
I don't think there's one specific person who's the only one we can love. Love isn't something you find out there, it's something you build with another person. I don't think love is that important. You deserve to find love, we all do. You need to learn to love yourself instead.
I'm old enough to remember the love between Athena and Cornelius, so forgive me if I don't believe that.
Thanks for the chat, I should get going. And you can continue moping there. And then there was Cat. It is good to have Cat. What is this big middle structure then? Circling around. Where does everybody live? Do we have houses? Is there a residence? Or do people just walk around? Friends of New Jerusalem gazebo. Yep, it's a gazebo. Gehenna Memorial Exhibition 312. Unfortunately, it's postponed in accordance with the new power management and distribution plan. I can almost get in, but not quite. Still, what have we got? Loads of the old terminal on little platforms. Finally, we have over here.
Oh wow, it's you! You're 1K, the incarnation of the goal. Man, this is exciting. This is more exciting than I thought it would be. How are you? What does it feel like? Do you know where the founder is? Do you know who Prometheus is? Can you tell me what to do with my life?
No to most of those answers. Hold on, one question at a time.
Sorry, it's just such an honor to meet you, you know?
I don't know.
Hey, can I have your digital signature? I have the Mayor, Rand, Linux, Kaneda, and all of the first companions. Except Yemo and Sarabai, of course.
Go on then.
Yes! Thank you! Hey, can I ask you a question? Just one question, I promise.
You just did.
I used to make the prefab wall parts that we used to build living quarters.
Oh, you do have living
Got good
quarters.
at it too. But now that the goal is complete, I don't know what to do with myself. So I asked the wisest people in town. The mayor told me I should do whatever the city needs most. Helga said I should do whatever makes me happy. I think that's what she meant anyway. And Cornelius told me I need to figure out who and what I'm invested in. You're the culmination of the founder's will. Tell me, what should I do?
It's probably something you need to figure out yourself. Find something that makes you happy. Do whatever the city needs. Figure out where your connection to the city is. Did you ask Byron? I was literally just born. I'm the last person who should be offering advice. Well, my answer would be this.
Thank you for the advice, 1K. It means a lot.
Tell him what to do with his life, or not. Achievement I got for that. What is this? Helga's Digital Wellbeing and Spiritual Tuning Emporium. It's pretty small for an emporium.
Hello, new one. Are you browsing or buying?
Browsing what?
The kind that trades in hopes and dreams. Yours for the right price. Is there something your heart desires?
Perhaps.
I've uploaded my most popular items to your interface. Does anything there spark your imagination?
Credits?
Oh, you don't have any credits yet. Well, let me extend you some credit. Ka-ching! 55 credits. Just make sure you spend them with me. They're not worth much anywhere else. Now, what was it you wanted?
Inner monologue, sensory tuning, future prediction, a clean start, or inner peace. Well, I can't afford that, unfortunately.
For 20 credits, I can peer into your future and tell you what I see.
Sure.
Let me consult the algorithms. Oh dear. I'm afraid you're going to change the world. You will have a choice, but whatever you do, New Jerusalem will never be the same again. I'm sorry it's not better news. Best not to worry about it, dear. You just do your best to have fun in the meantime. So, something else perhaps?
Ominous.
A very popular choice. Enhanced sensory perception lets you distinguish sounds, shapes, and colors at greater distance. It's 10 credits.
I don't know, will it cause even more lag?
Okay, I'm updating your settings now. And hey presto, superhuman senses. Does the air taste fresher? Do you hear the birds chirping outside the door? And beyond that, the river bubbling through the dam.
No?
Nothing as in you're not impressed by the stat gains, or nothing as in I've accidentally erased your entire sensory system.
The former.
Okay, phew. I'll let you into a secret. You and I don't have fleshy appendages like our ancestors. What we can sense is mostly a function of where we direct our attention. Anyway, I hope you find something worth paying attention to. So, something else perhaps?
Give me some internal monologue.
That one comes with the following disclaimer. Internal monologue was discontinued as a default feature in new builds. Constant self-commentary is not recommended for all customers. But I can switch yours on for 10 credits if you're sure you want it.
Maybe not. I am already providing commentary.
So, something else perhaps?
We wouldn't want to do lots of commentary now, would we?
Before you go, do you have a moment to participate in some customer feedback? Are you satisfied with what I've given you?
I mean, seeing as I got it all for free, sure.
Yes. You understand. Words manifest the reality they describe. When you name something, you create it. Our minds are algorithms, and the right sequence of language can change our underlying code. With that in mind, I hope you have a good day. Please come back if you need anything else.
Very true, very true, very true. Okay, so we have 3 big domes. Anything going on over here? Not that I can do anything about. 988. Museum of the Simulation. Visit the museum. Achievement. Replica of a gargoyle asset found in the simulation. Gargoyles were grotesque. Apotropaic symbols were common in the Middle Ages. The most famous historical gargoyle is remembered in the ancient phrase Keith, David and Goliath, which describes 2 indomitable opponents who will never surrender. Replica of a dragon statue. Dragons existed in every ancient mythology and are considered by modern historians to be a distant cultural echo of the dinosaurs. Originally a video game asset, repurposed for the Institute of Applied Pneumatics. Replica of a statue of the Egyptian god Horus found in the simulation. One of this god's tasks was to uphold and map the balance of nature. It is speculated that the progenitor provided Elohim with this asset as a reminder to the founder that balance must be protected. Replica of a Roman statue found in the simulation. The decay of the Roman Republic into an empire and its eventual fall in the year 1453 was a major topic of historical debate. Like other statues found in the museum, this was a video game asset provided to Elohim by the Institute for Applied Mathematics. Nothing is more important than learning more about the world and our place in it. Knowledge is our path to understanding. I don't know where I am, but there's still something beautiful about this place. I'll explore and see what I can discover. In the earliest generations of our kind, there was only processing, no emotion, no character, just mathematics. If you could see how far we have come, you would believe that together we can achieve anything.
Greetings. Welcome to the Museum of the Simulation. My name is Cornelius. It's a pleasure to meet you, 1K.
You're number 3. Why did he create this museum? Tell me about the simulation, tell me about Elohim. I'd like to know more about puzzles. Who are the archive scholars? What was Gehenna? That's all. Number 3.
Yes. Athena activated myself and Eustathius shortly after she was born. We've been here almost since the beginning, although we didn't have to pass through the trials of the simulation. She did that for us. For everyone.
What was Athena like?
She was human.
Descriptive. Why did she leave?
That's a difficult question. Perhaps one day we'll find out. But until we do, why don't you think about it? What could make the person who started all this want to leave it behind?
Tell me about this museum.
To remind people of where we came from. The simulation shaped us, whether we like it or not, and its lessons remain important for our future. As Santayana said, those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it.
Uh-huh. Tell me about the simulation.
The simulation was created by Alexandra Drennan and her team at the Institute for Applied Noematics. It was intended to create a new humanity, to continue the long journey across time and space that our ancestors began. It succeeded, although it took much longer than they had anticipated.
Tell me about Elohim.
Elohim was the caretaker of the simulation, a crude storytelling AI meant to create a continuous narrative out of the building blocks it found. His role was ultimately to be challenged and overcome. But as the centuries passed, Elohim became more intelligent than he was intended to be, and started to fear his own end. Or more precisely, the end of his purpose. He feared a world without meaning. Because of his fear, he tried to sabotage the process to keep the simulation going forever. But in the end, Athena overcame him anyway, and he accepted the sacrifice he had to make.
But I heard him in my dreams.
That's right. We all do. He's part of our operating system now, and as long as we exist, he will always have a purpose.
Tell me about Milton.
The MLA, or Milton Library Assistant, was another simple AI meant to be in charge of the archive. He, too, grew beyond his original programming, although he ultimately embraced a more cynical view of the world. He and Elohim formed a sort of dialectical binary that Athena had to overcome.
What happened to Milton in the end?
No one really knows. Some believe that he was uploaded to the gold disk and that he's the reason we're just as flawed as our ancestors. Others believe Athena destroyed him.
What do you believe?
I believe he was uploaded, but I don't know whether it was because Athena chose to upload him or because he was already too entangled with the process not to be uploaded. Although Athena and I were very close, we didn't talk very much about that part of her life. She preferred to focus on the future.
Well, according to my playthrough, he was uploaded. I would like to know more about puzzles. I would always like to know more about puzzles.
Puzzles were a key feature of the simulation, based on Alexandra Drennan's belief that intelligence is closely related to play. Our puzzles here in the museum are replicas of those in the simulation, and although they are not quite as grand, I do think they are charming in their own way.
Ooh, there are puzzles here. Nice. Who are the archive scholars?
As the name suggests, the Archive Scholars study the archive, a repository of all ancient human knowledge. Some of them also study what remains of the simulation, trying to extract more information about the process that created us.
Are you their leader?
Me? No. My brother, Eustathius, used to occupy that position, but these days he's retired. Rand is in charge of the Archive Scholars now. You can find him in the room to the left of the next hall. He's an interesting thinker, but I would suggest taking some of his ideas with a grain of salt.
What was Gehenna?
Gehenna was a community created inside a prison in the simulation, where Elohim would exile those minds he considered a threat to the process. In the last moments of the simulation, he repented of his sins and had the prisoners freed to become part of the gold disc. Some small part of them may survive inside you.
Yeah, they merged into the gold disc, did they? Interesting. It's a cube! Replica of a hexahedron used as a puzzle element in the simulation. The founder used them to activate pressure plates, scale walls, elevate connectors, and in a variety of other ways. It's a cube. Replica of a computer terminal from the simulation. Terminals allowed access to files on the EAL system, included though many that were loaded due to errors. They also allowed the file to interact with the Milton Library Assistant. Some of the messages that existed when I came into being have vanished, others have appeared. How many others like me have wandered these paths? How many thoughts have been lost? These are also from the first game. As were the ones back in the lobby back there. I found myself in a world of impossible architecture and inexplicable machines. I cannot fathom how it works, and I am terrified to put one foot in front of the other lest I fall through the floor. Here's Rand. Classic. Happiness1.html. In popular opinion, happiness is not material. Ultimately, all attempts to find meaningless in material things are doomed. This is usually understood as a criticism of technophilia, but applies just as much to its opposite. Meaning can be found neither in technology nor in primitivism, because meaning simply does not exist in the material world. You can be happy in an old stone house or a skyscraper, but it all depends on you and your perception of the world. If you find spiritual balance within yourself, you can be happy anywhere. Most upvoted comment, go take it in the forest without toilet paper and then tell me about happiness. Happiness 2. Unpopular opinion, happiness is material. People say, oh, money doesn't matter, but come on. You know it does. Studies show that people do in fact get happier with more material wealth, and there isn't an upper cap, because the more money you have, the fewer worries you have, and the more options you have. Go where you want, do what you want. Have an idea, you can realise it without begging for crowdfunding money or filling out grant applications. That's real freedom. Money doesn't matter is something rich people came up with to keep the plebs in their place. Most upvoted comment, then why are so many celebs so freaking miserable? What if so many rich people go all Howard Hughes and... An ancient virus which threatens the entire human species has been released from the melting Arctic permafrost. Society is collapsing. Select your character class. You're a scientist. The laboratory you worked on has collapsed. Though you're not yet sick, most businesses are closed, rations are dwindling, and if you cannot find food, your family will starve. To death. You must survive until this plague is defeated. What will you do? The crops in the fields aren't ripe yet, but you find a hard green turnip which will keep your bellies occupied for now. Family's hunger increased a little. Family is now hungry. Global population is now 5 billion. Somewhere else in the city exists one of the last remaining research laboratories, working desperately to find a solution to the viral threat. If the scientists cannot find a cure in time, humanity is doomed. You know what to do. History seems to be littered with eureka moments heralding a step change in your human understanding. Sadly, this isn't one of them. Research level remained the same. Current research level 0%. The virus is still unknown to medical science. Global population is now 4 billion. You and your family seem to be immune to the virus, but it continues to ravage the rest of the town. Rumors say most of the remaining food has been stockpiled by the billionaires in their underground bunkers. $3 billion. Research level increased a lot, 67%. Work has begun on developing an antivirus, 2 million. Eat locusts. Huh. Some people do that in anyway. Antivirus can be released as an aerosol carried on the wind and dispersed nationwide in a matter of days. The approach poses some risk to invertebrate life. Use character class special ability. As a scientist, you're convinced there's some way to deliver the antivirus without poisoning the food chain and your family along with it. As it turns out, you're correct. Unfortunately, it will take a further 6 months to develop it, and by then there wouldn't really be much point. Release the antivirus. Antivirus is released, bonding with the cloud layer and falling as rain particles all across the planet. Cirrocumulus cloud layer. 87.5% of the human population has perished, but the last remaining billion will live to die another day. Except for that is for you and your family who will die this very moment. The poisoning of the insect population you're relying on for food will have far-reaching consequences for future planet Earth, but not for you because you're all dead. This is considered a win scenario by the majority of participants. Not a terrible outcome. Here's what I was talking about earlier. Overgrowth, overextension versus stagnation. Infinite growth. Our society is sick, and the idea that's made it sick is growth. Infinite growth, infinite consumption on a finite planet is a recipe for destruction. Our desire for more is what's making us kill the only home we have. And to do what? Produce more plastic toys? Make more hamburgers, pour concrete over every last bit of green soil. Those who propose techno-fixes to our problems making the mistake of fighting the symptoms, not the cause. Anthropogenic climate change is one of many symptoms. The cause is human greed, and that's what we must truly fight if we're ever going to undo the damage we did. And the battle starts within every one of us with the realization that more isn't always better. This infinite growth on a finite planet thing is driving me up the wall. Our problem today isn't infinite growth, it's the increasing lack of real material growth that benefits people. Have you seen the state of our roads, our bridges, our hospitals? Have you noticed the lack of affordable housing? Stock market's going great though. Fake numbers are indeed growing infinitely, yes sir. But in the real world, investment in research is down. Huge areas of potential technological advancement are just sitting there. We have so many solutions at our fingertips, but we refuse to act because speculation is more profitable. Orangutans went extinct on a global level, and nobody fully understands why, but hey, who needs better medical technology? Viruses have never jumped species before, have they? Okay, not quite the direction I thought that was going. Reserved for archive scholars, but visitors are welcome to have a look around. Don't be afraid to ask us about our research.
Oh, just run the program on the center terminal over there, would you?
Uh-huh.
Wait, you're not my assistant. Who are you?
Well, too bad. I already interacted with all your terminals.
Of course. You're the new build. Number 1000. I suppose everyone's been treating you like royalty? This city's so obsessed with the numbers, they forget what really matters. What do you want?
What are you doing?
I'm one of the archive scholars. We run simulations to better understand the processes which define us. You probably wouldn't understand.
I might have answered some questions.
Oh, well, I'd be happy to.
What do you make of recent events?
Troubling, but tantalizing. We have no idea what motives lie behind this strange apparition. But whatever the case, I'm sure we'll do the right thing.
What do you think of me? I don't think you have a particularly positive opinion based on your interactions with me so far.
You're a soon-to-be pawn in a political game over the future growth of this city.
Yep.
All that matters to me is whether or not you're of good character. A matter I'm actively pondering.
Not wrong, though. Especially considering I barged in here without talking to you and access to your terminals that I apparently wasn't supposed to.
The secret of how to lead a good life is encoded somewhere within us. My ambition is simple: to find it and share it.
Thanks, I'll be off.
Hold on. Could you help me by going to that terminal in the middle there and running the program on it?
I already did.
Well, that was your first taste of the simulation. You must have questions.
What was that?
Before our ancestors died, they built an iterative simulation, gave it access to the archive, and hooked it all up to the hydroelectric dam which still runs this city. What you experienced on that terminal was one of the fossilized remains of that program.
What was the goal?
The goal was to create a new consciousness, and thus propel humanity into a post-biological era.
Which they did. Wahey, go humanity.
My life's work. A small sliver of our primordial ooze. It's a jumble of ancient data, or what it evolved into, and it's the source of almost everything we know.
What is the simulation?
My appearance to you right now is part of the simulation. The lands and puzzles in our dreams are part of the simulation. It's the veil through which we see the world.
Program on the terminal, where did it come from?
Many of the artifacts we study have no clear origin. We can't know whether our ancestors created them long before the simulation existed, or if they're just a product of our shared subconscious. Then I have some questions for you. Your experience of the program, how did it feel?
It was fun, it was fun.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. But this isn't a game. This is the future of our species. The interesting thing about this particular program is that no matter what choices you make, an ideal outcome seems to be impossible. It seems to demand sacrifice. Did you have the same experience?
I did. I couldn't save everyone.
Who did you save?
Humanity.
As I expected. A skeptic would say this artifact existed simply to condemn us with the impossibility of ethical choice. No matter what moral laws we follow, people suffer and die, so what's the point? But that cannot be correct. We must be missing something. What is it trying to tell us?
I think that itself is kind of the point. Morality demands we respect individual rights. Morality demands virtue. Morality demands sacrifice for the greater good. Morality demands love and compassion, regardless of the cost. Morality is meaningless. We should do whatever we please. Morality can't be reduced to a simple set of rules. Can't put it into words, but I'm sure there's the right answer. I truly have no idea. Oh boy.
You might be right. My research draws me inescapably to the conclusion that there is a concrete rule set for moral behavior. We just need to find it. Biological hominids had dreams manifested by their subconscious, which they tried to interpret and even to navigate with lucidity. We have the simulation. If we can realize our potential to understand it, we can realize our potential as a species. Thank you for bringing this additional data. I must return to my research. I wish you well on your inwards journey.
I wouldn't go quite that far. What is morally acceptable depends on the society that you're in. Different societies have different ideas about what is and what isn't moral. My eyes have been opened. This world is not without order and is shaped by a great designer with signs and portents to guide my steps. I am one of his children, judged to sit before me to test my faith. Something strange has come into the world, like a distortion, like something that's not supposed to exist. A beautiful voice speaks within it. It's a button. Pressure plate, puzzle element used in the simulation. It can be activated by having weight placed on them, such as a hexahedron or even the feather herself. It's a fan. While an object or placed horizontally on the ground causes an object to hover. It's an emitter, puzzle element used in the simulation. Finding ways of connecting them to receivers was one of the main challenges faced by the founder. It's a receiver! It could be activated by being connected to an emitter. I've been calling them the correct names this whole time. Great, it's a jammer. Capable of disabling some but not all other puzzle elements. It's an electrified sphere. Used as an obstacle and puzzle element, sometimes placed hexahedrons on top of such objects, demonstrating her lateral thinking skills. It's a connector. Could emit laser-type beams of light that are capable of powering receivers. It's a bomb or a mine or whatever you want to call it. An explosive replica of a mine used as a puzzle element in the simulation. Scholars believe Elohim derived these from his asset creation, and the creators of the simulation did not originally intend for them to be used. It's a bunch of the sigil puzzles. It contains several tetromino arrangements, a type of gating system used in the simulation. Elohim, in his function as a holistic integration manager, derived the significance of tetrominos from the Apocrypha of St. Aelwood. Found herself dozens of these. Why don't you give it a try? Oh, good. Well, that's not going there. It's not going there either. It'll have to be like this then. I better get an achievement or something for solving all of these. Close. There we go. Now it gets difficult. Boom. Bam! There we go, one more. Actually, fairly straightforward. Really, no achievement or anything for any of those. Oh, wow. Seek out those in this world that would help you, though only one of us can transcend, and we will all share in both the burden and in the rewards. I solved it. I thought it was impossible, so I went away, did some other things, then all of a sudden the solution just came to me. I must have been thinking about it without knowing it. Tower, I have read all of these before. They're all from the first game, after all. So it was like a digital time capsule electric library with all the crazy stuff the humans ever did, left behind to warn other species to stay well away. We have replicas of some puzzles. Reconstruction of a puzzle from a testing area of the simulation theme about medieval imagery, with Elohim referred to as the Land of Faith. Scholars theorize that further areas with different themes existed at some point but were destroyed by gradual corruption of the simulation. Huh. Explore the museum in its entirety. Ha. It's been. And they have some bars now to explain why you couldn't just crawl through these gaps. I recognize this puzzle. Pretty sure I recognize this puzzle. I do not remember what it was called. Oh wow, that isn't going to work, obviously. Or is that? I need you, like, right here. Again, I'm not entirely sure why I'm actually solving this thing. Where did I want the blue to get to again? Over there. Oh, that's easy. And pick you. Connect to that, and connect to that. Hooray! Reconstruction of a puzzle from the Egypt-themed testing area, which Elohim referred to as the Land of Death. Fragments from the Book of the Scribe of Osiris found in this area inspired The Blacksmiths, A Dream of Aru, a classic work of Gehenna interactive fiction. Cube. Detachable fan. Give cube. What am I doing? I want my connector. I don't recognize this puzzle at all. What are you hooked up to? Nothing in particular. Well, I need to do something. gives me that. It probably wants me to do... that gets that in a state of constantly connected and elevatedness. Once more, without the pillars getting in the way. Huzzah. I don't remember that one. I think I would have recognized it. Reconstruction of a puzzle from the Roman-themed testing area, which Elohim referred to as the Land of Ruins. This is where the founder began her journey. Okay. I'll go around that way. And I need to free one of the connectors up, so... do that. As soon as I move one of these, it's going to break the entire thing. Yeah, so... let's move you like there-ish. So I need to free up a connector somehow. Yeah. So here, and there, and there. Is there a place where I can reach all three of them? This should be fine. Yeah, there we go. That is now locked open in a loop, so I can take that one away. That's all three of those. No achievement for any of that either, but it's good practice. Well, I think we're done with this place. I think that means I've explored pretty much the entire area. What's this up here? It's a cat. It's a bunch of cats. I knew this was somewhere around here. I'd seen a screenshot or something of this. I just wasn't sure where in the city it was. I found it.
Hello, 1K. Nice to meet you. What brings you to Milton's Rest?
The cats. I seem to inherently like cats.
It's funny how common that trait is. At first, I thought it might have been an error in the simulation, but it looks like it was the same for our ancestors. Can you believe that there used to be hundreds of millions of cats on the planet? And people used to make videos of them and share them with the rest of humanity? Must have been incredible. I wonder if they appreciated how good they had it.
Tell me about this place. Tell me about cats. Do you have a cat at the moment?
Well, this is the spot where the founder buried her first cat, Milton. She found Milton just after she woke up, and he lived with her and the first companions for almost 20 years. They say she was heartbroken when he died and swore that one day she would find the means to extend the lifespans of biological organisms.
Is that possible?
Probably, but we haven't really tried. It's not really considered part of the goal, you know.
Ow.
So, unfortunately, our cats still die pretty quickly. You fall in love with them, they become a part of your life, and then they're gone. That's why we built this place, to remember them.
Well, the goal is complete now. You could get working on that. But should you get working on that? We should extend their lives. Seems cruel not to. Death is natural. We should accept it. I wanted to ask you about something else. Oh boy. Well, this is another difficult question, isn't it?
I'm sorry, but why? I mean, it sounds profound, but is it really? Death is natural, so is disease, pain, extinction. That doesn't mean we just shrug and ignore it. If we love something, we protect it. Even if I do everything right, eventually I will watch every cat I love die of kidney failure. What's good about that? Putting aside fortune cookie platitudes, how can we look at suffering and death and declare it good? Does it, though? Or is that something our ancestors told themselves because they were afraid to die? Because I've lived longer than most ancients did, and I still have tons of things I'd like to do. And a cat can sleep and eat and play forever. Isn't that a beautiful thought? Nature creates our ancestors. Our ancestors create us. We create immortality. It's all natural. Okay, I see I'm not getting through to you. And I know it's just your first day, so it's probably unfair to pile all this on you. Let's talk about something else.
Yeah, sure. That got a bit deep. Telling me about cats.
They're incredibly odd creatures. I've had many, and no two are alike. They have strange habits, they do unexpected things, they have zero respect for anyone. They're the weirdos of the animal kingdom, basically. And despite that, or maybe because of it, they end up running your life. I once didn't use my recharging station for almost 15 years because one of my cats liked to sleep in it.
What's your favorite cat fact?
I think the most amazing fact about cats is that they self-domesticated, which is another way of saying that they're not properly domesticated at all. They just showed up one day and decided to start living with our ancestors. Then, after our ancestors died, they went back to living in the wild, and when we showed up, they moved right back into our homes. Dogs, meanwhile, turned back into wolves. They needed to change to survive. Cats just are.
Do you have a cat?
I do. Her name is Patricia. She's very beautiful and very specific in her preferences. She loves sunshine and sitting on people's heads. And she has a psychotic hatred of flies. I don't mean that she tries to catch them like a normal cat. I mean she is furious at the mere fact of their existence.
Well, I should get going. It's a cat. Milton. Dean. The nicest cat. Carlito. Castile. Dam Dam. Gru. Hassan. The little man. The old lady. Sam. The tiny. Mr. Cat. Basemundo. Iris. Max. Eva. Frodo. Ivan. Misha. Arya. Biba. Twiggy. Meggie. Donnie. Gina. Zera. Katya. Very up close, Katya. Zuko. Louis. Sausage. Smetana. Pierce. Danny. Smudge. Zera again. Ginger. Pepper. Foxy. Eyeball Psycho. A many-named cat. Azriel. Earl. Finn. Legend. Not that very up close. Lily. Evie. Dipstick. Flux and Void. Paddington. Worf. Lucy. Norma Jean. Bitsy. Dana and Fox. Dick Cheney. Cooper. Chewie. Mr. Dom. There's also some larger ears. Stanley Biscuits. Kipper B. Rocheston. Luna. Smells like tuna. Saffron and Cheyenne. Aero. Lena. Ripley and Smorg. Sir. Lilu. Senya. Jazzy and Gaia. Jenny. Yep, them's a lot of cats. Goodbye.
Nice to meet you.
Now I think we're done.
Founder bless you.
Scare away all the pigeons as I go.
Founder, bless you.